Welcome back to Stache Club Wrestling, the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. My name is John.
My name is Dante.
Welcome back. It's good to have you. Episode 43. Woo. They thought they thought we'd make it to episode 42. There's no way in hell they thought we'd make it to 43.
Not at all. And you know what's crazy is that we're 9 away from 52.
Oh,
That's
a year.
Yeah, just a random number.
Like,
or 8 away from 51.
Yeah, I was like, awesome.
No, yeah, we're inching closer and closer. They didn't think we'd make it to 43. They definitely aren't
because we haven't missed a week, I don't think.
No, even there are some weeks when one of us was sick or something.
Yeah.
We still did it over Zoom.
Wow.
Those little janky ass episodes, but
wow, creeping up.
Yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there, but we're at 43, so we're not worried about 52 right now.
We have a couple of housekeeping things to do. First and foremost, this Friday, tomorrow, or if you're listening to this on Friday, today, on Friday, September 8th, not to be confusing, but on Friday, September 8th, we are having a Sweep City merch drop.
Come on now.
Dante and I's hat, this Sweep City resident shirt. You mind showing them the back?
Can I?
You mind showing them the back?
Oh, hold on.
A little... A little entering. I might have to go down. Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
How about that?
And entering Sweep City, established 2022 in honor of when Stache Club Wrestling was established. Population us says on the back.
And it could be you if you get your hands on one.
And here's the thing: you don't have to be a member of Sweep City. You don't have to have swept a quiz to get it. That is a shirt of I had the word earlier of hope. That's where I'm aiming for.
It can be motivation. So
Exactly.
if you get your hands on a Sweep City shirt, like, okay, moving forward, like, it is my goal to be a resident of Sweep City. Hey, and luckily for both of us, we are already residents. It would have been tough if you were the only one and I'm the one repping the shirt. It definitely would have been one of those.
Yeah, you did get it like at the last second.
Thank
God.
I think when we started designing the shirts is when I got into it.
I think the order was placed or like was about to be placed and you got it and it was like, okay,
perfect
good,
timing.
thank God.
Thank God you can be a part of this.
Also, we're gonna have a little sticker pack. There's this sticker, SCW barbed wire sticker on my laptop, as well as the Sweep City sticker and Stache Club Wrestling classic logo. You can get all of those at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, shop.clutchpoints.com. I'm very excited about this. I got to kind of co-design, kind of really drive the designs here.
The hat, I love the SCW, the barbed wire.
Yeah, it's
so
like a
sick.
play on like an ECW with like the White Sox sort of thing. I really liked that. I think
I saw a comment or a tweet or something where someone did mention that, kind of how it looks like.
I think I did see. Yeah,
I forget what platform it was on.
Yeah, I'm glad that people are picking up on it. Obviously, we're gonna post like the photo shoot pictures Friday, so like you'll be able to see it more. So right now we just have the mock photos. But yeah, if you have any questions about it, it's a snapback hat, 5-panel like the trucker style that's in right now. Yeah, you gotta give it a little bend. Gotta give it a little bend when you get it.
We've been wearing it a little bit, so they're a little broken into. And then the shirt quality
I love the
is fantastic.
shirt. I love the shirt.
Love the shirt quality. Sticker is perfect for your laptops, perfect for whatever the hell you put stickers on. I put all 3 of them on my laptop.
Nice.
So that's where I put them. But yeah, make sure to check that out. Support your boys, support the channel, support Sweep City, become a member. And
yeah, we'll be plugging it all week if it doesn't sell out. It'll be in videos and everything, but
we'll be. I mean, we wear the same outfits for every video because we record bulk. So you'll be seeing these hats, this shirt, for the next week of quiz videos.
So yeah, I guess that's that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And
Wordle action.
Yeah, I was on Wordle.
Taylor got it. First word on
today
on her birthday. This was last one.
What word was it?
Audio. She starts.
Oh, because a lot of people do that.
Starts with audio every day.
Yeah.
But it was funny that it was on her birthday.
That's crazy.
She sent it to me in all caps. She goes, "Do you see this on my fucking birthday?" I'm like, "I'm proud of you. I stopped doing it a year and a half ago, but I'm happy for you."
I still do it. I love it. Well, we have another. I think another important to note. I think you made note of it, and I kind of got reminded of it on your Instagram story. 5 years, R.I.P. Mac Miller,
man. Long live.
Isn't that crazy? 5 years.
Mac Miller. It is genuinely.
It honestly seems like longer.
It really does.
Yeah.
I think with like obviously like with the pandemic and like those lost years, I feel like that kind of makes time a little bit feel a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was right before, because that was about a year and a half, 2 years before all that stuff started. But yeah, it's crazy. It's one of those things, like, I genuinely remember, like, I was sitting on my college room dorm bed. I remember who I was with, what I was doing, like, everything about that moment when I found out. And it was just like, we talked about this kind of briefly with Bray Wyatt, and like it's weird with celebrities that you've never met before, but it's like how connected you can kind of feel to them through whether it's their music, their craft, if it's basketball, like Kobe with their sport, like whatever.
I mean, all of it is art. Like you know, even like I would argue, even like what Kobe Bryant did in bat, like, you know, there's an art form to all of that, and especially like a Mac or a Bray Wyatt or whatever, like. You know, when you connect with their art in such like a personal and like deep way, and then you know, you kind of form that connection with that person you never met.
It's like 8th grade, like Blue Slide Park, bro. I was bumping Party on 5th Ave. Like that was my alarm clock for a little bit, waking up every morning. Swimming is just like still is like might be my favorite album ever. Like it just is. It transcends time. It's gonna go down as one of the all-time greats. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
I got into him. So like that like era, like that like mixtape blog era in like the like 2009 to like 2014, whenever that was, like is my fucking shit. That's like Odd Future, ASAP Mob, like Flatbush. And so Mac was obviously kind of like in that circle. But he was more like, his early stuff was more like frat rap or like, whatever.
Kids.
Yeah. I like Best Day Ever. Kids is great. Or no, I'm sorry. Kids is great. But I like the Best Day Ever mixtape.
Yeah.
But that was still a little like frat rap for me.
Yeah.
And then the album that got me into him and that like shifted my perspective, and also he kind of like dropped the frat stuff, was watching movies with the sound off. Fucking
Red Dot music with Action Bronson is still one of the GOAT songs for me.
Crazy. And then I think you probably know that the order better than me. Then Faces came out after that.
That was right. They were right around the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think
I want to say Faces came out
after. Yeah.
And then like Faces is one of the greatest mixtapes projects in general.
Yeah.
And then so at that point, especially when like a little before Watching Movies with the Sound came on came out. Then I was like, he was like heavy in my rotation. He dropped the frat thing. And he's like, oh, this guy is the fucking.
Then he started making music like Divine Feminine and stuff. He started making that music.
My favorite all time. I think it's his most, maybe not his most slept on. Good AM.
Good AM.
It's my favorite Mac album, like by far.
Brand Name, 100 Grandkids.
Oh my God.
Perfect Circle.
I remember watching.
Such a great song.
I remember when the music video came out for 100 Grandkids, and they do the second half where it's like it's the beat switch, and then like the music video with the car going,
he's in front of it.
Like, oh, 100 G's in my jeans, I'm a genius.
Oh, it's so fire. Weekend with Miguel, that song.
Oh, that is on that.
I got that song. I listened to high school all the time. Dude, he has so many classes. For someone that passed away so young, he left such a great body of great body of work. His discography is.
How was he? 26,
bro.
Jesus.
And obviously the way he went out, it's so sad too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Mac Miller, one of the GOATs. That's one of my biggest, like, I'll always regret never seeing him live, bro. That's the one artist I wish I got to see. Because he was going to go on tour. And me and my buddy were going to get tickets when he was in Boston in November.
Oh.
And then obviously everything happened. So everything got canceled. But yeah, I wish I got to see him. He was pretty damn cool. He was seemed like he was a great dude. Like just funny
watching
dude.
His
I watched like his
that.
Vines and stuff like that, his online videos. He just seemed like a riot. Him and Schoolboy Q were so funny together.
Do you ever watch his The Most Dope Family Show?
I feel like I maybe watched an episode or two. I don't know if I've ever seen like it in full.
You can't like find it anywhere.
Yeah, now. Maybe that's why I've never come across it.
But there was like Schoolboy Q was always in it, and he's like, you guys want to join my bicycle gang? And they all had like bicycles and shit riding around with like matching.
We were it was about a month ago, and when they dropped the Tiny Desk vinyl, which came in last week.
Oh,
for me.
nice.
Came in finally for me. I'm still waiting for the shirts to come in Mac Miller shop. Send those to me as soon as you can. But yeah, even like the Tiny Desk concert, like we were like, that's like so happy that was able to come out before everything happened, because that was just such a beautiful thing.
I bought the brown Don't Trip hat he wears in that. Is like, I bought one of those.
I always get that ad on Instagram.
The Free and Easy
brand.
Free and
Easy.
I liked it. They're cool. I like them. That's a different turn into a plug for Free and Easy. Anyway, RIP the greatest.
RIP
5-year anniversary.
Long live Mac Miller.
Let's get into some wrestling.
Now let's talk about something a little bit more negative here.
Yeah. We're gonna start off. It's the name. It's gonna be in the title probably of this episode. It's in the title of everyone's.
How could it not be?
Episode? CM Punk.
It would be dumb not to take advantage of it.
CM Punk has been fired by AEW.
I'm just thinking. So when I was at the wedding on Saturday, so we're all like sitting at the table, whatever, and I'm just like, the first time all night I was scrolling through my phone, I opened it up and that was the first thing I saw.
That's when you saw it. Oh shit!
And everyone's just like, "What?" And I'm like,
"No one's gonna give a shit."
I was like, "None of you are gonna care, dude." I can't believe. I can believe it, but I can't believe they actually did it. I can't believe Tony Khan actually did. I'm just considering how many eyes he was bringing to the product.
They created a whole show around him.
They created a whole Saturday night television show catered to him, and only were having people on that wanted to work with him, or he wanted to work with. He was selling merchandise more than anyone else. He was the real world champion, that's in the dumps now. That was a stupid story anyways. And like I'm shocked. I'm not shocked, but just I didn't think that he'd have the balls or he would do it. I just thought he was always gonna be the golden goose protected, and obviously Tony Khan thought otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess I have stuff to say about it in general, but like, I don't I'm hesitant to say much because like there's all it is reports and rumors. Sure. Like there's reports of who touched who first, who yelled first.
Yeah, he said, she said type of thing.
Right. Even if you go all the way back to the Elite stuff, and then there's stuff like, oh, well, like back to present day, like, oh, the Elite didn't want to take a meeting, or like, there's so much stuff every day that comes out that is like all like a report or a rumor. So like, I'm hesitant to really. I mean, I've kind of like expressed my annoyance of CM Punk as of late, but that's pretty like surface level, and I think fair. But I'm hesitant to even really. I don't know.
All this stuff that comes out, all we know from what Tony Khan said in his little video was that he felt like he was threatened. So I think the one truth about it is whatever happened backstage, CM Punk did go at Tony Khan, and that's kind of what is the reason why he got fired, like going at his boss and stuff. I feel like that's the one, like, if there's some truth to whatever you read online, that seems to probably be the one thing that is the most truthful. Again, with the whole Jack Perry, who started this, who started that, all the Elite stuff. I know what you're talking about with the meetings and stuff, like, because apparently like once CM Punk thought there was a meeting, the Elite said they never were going to have a meeting in the first place. Like, it's all he said, she said. At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. Some of these like Mark Henry had a comment saying like the problem's gone, now let's focus on that. Like, everyone's saying different things.
This is when I saw Kevin Nash on his podcast. He was saying that CM Punk needs mental help and all this.
Yeah, I think I forget what publication's gonna do it, but I did see that CM Punk is gonna have like a big interview with someone.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it was Sports Illustrated. Maybe they're
Stache
the ones
Club Wrestling coming out.
CM Punk next week. We got CM. No. But yeah, apparently he's gonna talk some shit. So it's gonna be very interesting to see.
What's also interesting is like, it seems like they're playing it like with a lot of the stuff that happens, controversy wise. The first two people who are saying something are three: Swerve, Christian, MJF. Sure. They're gonna say something about on TV to get that like shock value.
Yeah.
No, it's been like 2 weeks or whatever since like everything's been happening, basically since All In, and there's no cheeky MJF because he's had the mic twice. There's been no cheeky MJF thing, so like they're taking this pretty like, no, like we're not even giving it shine. We're not giving it.
There were a few things like on being the Elite. I don't know. Kenny Omega took a sip of Pepsi and he was like,
I saw that too.
That tastes like he said it tastes like something like poison or whatever. I forget what the word exactly it was.
Fucking know.
Adam Page posted a thing on his Instagram story of a CM Punk action figure. He goes, "Oh, look who I ran into." So they're taking like little petty shots. I think one of the Young Bucks did like at the end of Collision that night, he did like a victory lap or something like that, which people said was because of what happened. So like, yeah, people are like on TV, they're not doing anything. Like I think they want to stay away from all this stuff, but people are going to have their opinions. People are going to have, whether they're upset, happy that he's not in the company anymore. I feel like it was just so wishy-washy. And then that's a whole nother thing too.
After on Collision, after Tony Khan announced he had fired CM Punk, that number seems, I've
seen a few accounts saying similar around that number. Yeah.
This says, what was that? Wrestle Features? Wrestle Features. I mean, is any of this? Whatever. Wrestle Features says after Tony Khan announced that he had fired CM Punk on AEW Collision, 89,000 people tuned out.
Well, that's also like if that's true, that's what happens when you cater an entire show around a guy. Right. That's what I'm saying. You know, It's like
everyone is tuning in to watch.
They did so much for this guy just for this to happen, and it's just. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did they not think something like this was going to, obviously hindsight's 2020, but you had all these issues with him in the past, so now you're going to do all this stuff for him, thinking that like there's going to be no controversy, nothing's going to happen. Like you kind of put yourself in the corner. Yeah. I don't want to point fingers and blame anyone, but I'm just saying
I think that's fair. Like I said, because I even, like I said at the beginning, I was even like, I don't want to, really be picking a side or really saying what's truth and what's not, but I think it is fair to be like, at the bare minimum, Punk's not helping himself and he is his own worst enemy. We said it last week. His name is always the one brought up. Not saying whose fault or who started it. Da da da.
He's always in the mix somehow.
But he's also the vet. So it's he should
be the guy that's setting an example and stuff. And he's also in his 40s. He's not a young guy anymore. Like, he should be mature and he knows the business and everything. And
yeah,
that's why you put a guy on a pedestal and you treat him like a golden goose. When something bad happens, a lot of shit, follows. A lot of dominoes fall. So
I guess so. Here's the question: CM Punk going back to WWE?
No, I think those bridges were burned. I think there's too much.
There's a report he's going to Impact. You see that?
Honestly, I can see him going to Impact, NWA. Like, so I can potentially see that.
See him just retiring.
Just retire. He might just be done with wrestling at this point. I mean, he left for 7 years. I mean, at this point, like, I think there's too much controversy around him. I don't think there's enough people in WWE. Like, I think there will be too much pushback from like superstars, executives, or whatever it may be. Obviously, it's a business. Money talks. If it's obviously he's a big name, he'll probably be a huge draw if he goes back, because that's all people are going to be want to watch, talk about. But again, you saw what happened. You saw what happened back in 2014. You saw what happened in 2022. You saw what happened a few weeks ago. Is it worth it? WWE is financially in the best spot they've ever been in.
They don't need it.
No, they don't need him.
But that might be for the better because AEW, I'm not saying AEW needed Punk, but they help. I mean, Punk helped them out.
He helped him out.
Especially his first run back, and then the numbers on Collision.
For sure.
I'm not gonna.
There's no argument about that.
I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say AEW needed him, but he definitely helped.
He gave them a little boost. For sure. WWE doesn't need that.
And then maybe it's an ego thing. And at this point, I'm just kind of talking, but maybe it's an ego thing of like, he knew how important he was to AEW. If you go over to WWE, it's a little humbling. Also, AEW doesn't seem like they have a real handle on their backstage. WWE seems like it has it pretty down more.
I agree with that. So we've also seen the other rumors, and you tweeted about it, about how the Royal Rumble stuff, about how he wanted to come back when he was like during a hiatus from AEW, when he was backstage. Like that was kind of him just trying to like get his foot back. And like it wouldn't shock me if he wants to go back. I'm not saying anything about him wanting to go back. It's a matter of if WWE wants him back, and that's where I doubt it. But again, we're just talking about rumors and reports.
You never know. I mean, if there's
wrestling, you never say never. That's really the thing.
Never know. I think I'm not on either. Like I'm not going to sit here and say I want him in WWE. If he shows up, I'm gonna talk about it on a podcast.
We're gonna talk about it. Yeah, I think I'm in the middle. Where like if he did pop up, too. Let's say Royal Rumble comes around number 30, he comes out. Would I be shocked? Yes, but I'd be like, okay.
Do I want him to beat Roman Reigns? No.
0%
do I want any of that? Like
I definitely would tune in and watch and stuff, but I would definitely be like, okay, like I see why he's back. Like I get it. But I
think at this point,
gun to my head right now, you asked me to pick. I'm saying he's not. I don't think he's returned to wrestling.
I won't say we. I have at least been like, I've been. I don't know. I'm just kind of, and it's not even like a him thing. Like I'm annoyed at Phil Brooks, whatever. Just like the whole, just hearing CM Punk mention
the drama,
all the drama, and I'm usually one that I love. Like I love the backstage drama. I love the drama. I love when like the drama finds itself and like how like
you tie it into stories.
Yeah, and stuff, like maybe this is me getting worked. Eddie Kingston, Claudio, I think like for real don't like each other. Maybe it's just a character thing.
Sure.
If let's just assume that's true for the sake of my argument. Like I love when it's just like this real life heat or beef here. I love when that finds like reality,
and they're so professional enough to work
so
around it and
they
stuff.
would have, I mean, we talk about this all the time, they would have printed money if they did Punk versus Kenny or Punk FTR and whatever them versus the Elite or whatever. This is I saw a tweet, but it was like that kind of inspired this, but it was like it's shocking that they didn't just put their pride aside or their beef aside to just headline a pay-per-view and make a buttload of money, like, and then buy and then see it. Just do one match,
Like imagine if, and I'm not saying that it should have and that whatever, but like Omega and CM Punk, like what if they main evented All In or something like that?
Right.
The pay-per-view sales probably would have fucking maybe like they would have done a lot if they ran with that, but for whatever reason,
but again,
pride, all that stuff.
Turns out they don't really need them because MJF and Adam Cole had that main event spot.
They did. That's what I'm saying. It's not
that
they needed that, but yeah, I think it's definitely going to go down as one of those like what if type of things. But honestly,
that's kind of what it is. I think we're finding apparently a lot more people care than we do.
Yeah,
and I really don't care. Like I just don't care. I'm just over. This is especially us. We're not, and maybe this is why. I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back here, but I think we pride ourselves on not being journalists or not being a news thing. So when we come on here and we're doing a quiz or we're talking on the podcast or we're watching a pay-per-view or whatever, we're watching the TV show.
Watching the show.
And we come on here and we come on here to talk about the fake storylines on the TV show.
Right.
And then when we talked about this last week, but when this happens and it overshadows one of the greatest events in wrestling history, that being All In. It's annoying. Because we're sitting here. It's like, well, we want to enjoy the thing that we're invested in. And like, again, I usually like all the outside stuff. It is interesting. I do pay attention to like the news and the dirt sheets and the rumors or whatever.
Of course. How could you not?
Especially as deep into it as we are.
Yeah.
However, I'm just kind of over it. I guess it's,
he's gone. They replaced him with Bryan Danielson.
That's what I'm seeing, right?
Collision, John Moxley, those guys are going to be more prominent on those shows.
Yeah.
That's how that's how you move on. So, all right, next topic. What do we got?
We got Payback.
We do have Payback.
Brother. And I got to give you a big congratulations.
Yes.
Because you are, for the first time ever. So I figured this out.
Okay.
So you have won... you have won predictions before. I think you've won like maybe once, maybe twice, but either way. But that was back when we were doing it for the briefcase.
Oh,
so we never did it for the title. So this is your first time winning the SCW Predictions Championship. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Wow, this title feels great on my shoulders. Even better than the one hanging up on the wall right now. Yep. Feels good. The one I've had for you. The one that I've had since I was fucking probably 10 years old. I can finally bring it home now.
In my
I did it, mama.
In my fantasy league, we have the what the fuck is it? The old like WWE championship, like the Undisputed Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever the fuck. What's the name of that one?
I think it's just called the Undisputed.
I think so,
the
right?
one with like, it's kind of like, not.
It's like black and gold. Let me look it up. Yeah, I think it's just Undisputed.
I think I know what you're talking about, but.
I think so. I just don't want to get the name
I think
wrong.
They're going to have the new.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to Google this.
Is the one like what JBL?
This one.
Yeah, I have the I have the toy version of it.
Yeah, me too. So I had the toy version, and we used it. We've been doing it for like 5 or 6 years at this point, using it for my fantasy football thing. And whoever wins, we'll give it to them, and they'll keep it for the year or whatever.
Cool.
I haven't touched my damn childhood belt. I haven't won my fantasy league. I'm trying to win this damn belt back.
This is the year.
I don't know.
So it's funny. This is one of the only belts I didn't do it on. So I remember, I don't know if it was like one night or I had like a few of them, like that belt, the Undisputed, I had like a tag team championship. Maybe one other one, I forget, but one night I just took a Sharpie. And
I did that too.
The nameplate is, I would write it. So that title says like Undertaker on it. I think
mine definitely said I think the one that's like stuck on it now, I think is Eddie Guerrero.
Sure. Yeah. I had the old SmackDown Tag Team Championship, like the blue one. I think I put like John Morrison when him and the Miz were
funny. Yeah.
So I think for my senior year of high school for Halloween, a bunch of us dressed up as wrestlers. So I brought in a few belts. So I did have 2 of them. I had 2 Tag Team Championships. One of them gone. It's somewhere in those hallways. It's somewhere in the wall. I don't know where it went, but like it's gone. It's somewhere on that campus. I only went home with one of them. I remember like driving home like, I had 2 of these. So I was like, where's the other one? And I was just
your tag team partner has
couldn't find it. Whoever my tag team partner was. I was like, I'll find it tomorrow. Didn't find. I'm like, all right, whatever, it's fine. But all right, double champ. I'll have both belts on my shoulders.
You're not the double champ. I am the current.
Are you the current champ?
Yeah, I won yesterday. Retained.
Oh, never mind. Fuck. All right. Well, I will be double champ.
You are not
today.
Caught up on the product.
No, I'm not.
It was. It is all very confusing when like content comes out.
I always because we filmed last week, so I always forget. A week later.
Yesterday's video was the only the lyrics one, and the answer was, well, I don't want to spoil it if you didn't watch it yet. Go watch it. Well, I guess I already did spoil it, saying I won.
Oh, fuck it. Who cares?
Whatever. If you're watching this, you already watched it.
So, all right. So
but it was the Kane one. I went on a wager.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Retained, I should say.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Hey, I believe. If there's anyone that thinks you're going to become double champion, get that belt back to me. So
I appreciate it.
Don't you worry.
That's just what I need. That's the motivation I needed today.
So congratulations, first time. All right, let's get into it. Becky Lynch. It's so hot in here. Holy, I'm starting to really sweat. Preface on this. It's hot in here. It's like 90 degrees outside. My apartment doesn't have. I was thinking of
wearing a tank top today. I should have, honestly.
We might call it a day early and might be one video down.
We might be a short video.
Maybe 2 videos down. I don't know.
It's gonna be hot.
It's hot. But anyway, we can only get through if we get through it. Becky Lynch defeats Trish Stratus in a banger.
Yeah,
of a steel cage match.
That's how you end the rivalry.
It's what we needed. I'm so happy. I'm so satisfied.
Yes, me too.
That it ended like this. Really, really fucking fun. I love that Trish just gets to put on her resume.
Put on a show.
I was in a steel cage match, and it was like a banger. Yeah. Probably one of the best matches of her career in general.
I think this is going to go down as one of the best matches of the year.
People,
for the women's side, at the very minimum. Very minimum.
People are saying this is match of the year contender.
Yeah,
there are 2 matches on the show that are saying match of the year contender. This was really fun. Big fucking suplex off the top, which was crazy.
Hanging backwards off it, bro.
Also, I had a funny Payback experience.
Okay, yeah. Did you watch it, or what was your?
So I was out with friends that night, and which is a different. I'm curious. It's a whole. I was debating on whether to bring it up as a talk. We probably won't talk about it. So we got a lot to talk about. We've already kind of been on tangents, but it's like there are definitely, admittedly, there are some points where it's like, I gotta prioritize hanging out with friends on a Saturday night, and I'll catch up on the pay-per-view.
I'm with you. I feel you on that.
And I think that's what I like. Is like we're a wrestling podcast and YouTube channel, but I think we're pretty grounded and real in it. Where it's like, hey, my buddy's birthday party is. We're gonna go to some bars on Saturday night. I'm not gonna watch Payback live. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'd say that like when it comes to like whether it's like Dynamite or something like that, or like a pay-per-view on Saturday, Sunday. Sure. Like if I'm like with my girlfriend or something like that. Like the thing is, you can always catch up on wrestling. It's always going to be there.
That's the thing.
Like especially the pay-per-views, like it's like WWE on Peacock and stuff. You can always watch the matches back.
I will say, if it's like depending on the pay-per-view, I'll definitely prioritize it.
Sure. I mean, there are times where I just pull up Peacock on my phone. If there's like a big match or something, I'll watch it.
So it's definitely there's definitely times to prioritize it, and I think this is something for everyone that everyone can take away with. There's definitely times to prioritize it, especially if it's like, if you really want to watch, and if it makes you happy and it makes us happy. But if it's like, oh, I really want to watch this match, or it's like a WrestleMania or SummerSlam or a big AEW show, I definitely prioritize it. But sometimes if it's like a Payback, or even if it's like a Wednesday going to trivia night,
like a B show pay-per-view or just like a weekly show,
I'll catch up on it the next day or throughout the day.
Actually, Dynamite does. So they have Dynamite on 8 o'clock, and then they have their West Coast show. So they have it playing like right after at like 10, 11 o'clock. So sometimes I'll even catch that and just like watch it later on.
It took me like 2 days to catch up on it, because I got home and me and my friends watched. We got home around like, I want to say like 10 or 10:30. Yeah. And I thought it was gonna be like the main event time. The show ran long, or it didn't run that long, but it was longer than I thought. And I made them watch Raquel and Rhea. Mm-hmm. We got home basically right as the Grayson Waller effect was ending. So we saw a little bit of Cena. We watched Raquel and Rhea and the main event. And then it took me like 2 or 3 days to get the free time. Then I watched back the steel cage match, the tag match, and like everything else. Mm-hmm. But I had a funny Payback. It was all just like piecing shit together.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We're real about it, and it's like you don't always have to be watching it in real time and stuff like that.
Anyway, I don't know why. I was thinking about that last night, and I was like,
point out.
I think it speaks to our. We were kind of talking about it earlier, how we're like not, we're not a news thing, we're not a journalist thing, and I like the attitude.
We enjoy wrestling. We just enjoy watching wrestling, and just we can watch it.
It's real about it, and we can
watch it whenever the fuck we want.
Subscribe to Peacock now. Anyway,
not an ad.
Zoey Stark gets involved a little bit. This kind of ends with, looks like we're going to move on to a Zoey Stark and Trish feud, maybe. They kind of didn't end on great terms. And then kind of because it all plays in, a lot of this is going to intertwine with like Raw and NXT and stuff. On NXT, Becky Lynch challenged the NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton for the strap.
Yeah, so
Strapton.
I think it's Stratton.
No, but I'm saying Tiffany Stratton got challenged for the Tiffany strap.
That's
you know
clever.
what I mean?
Yeah. They've been kind of hinting at that the last few weeks. They've been having a few cameos.
Yeah, they did like a backstage thing with Becky.
They've had a few. I'm gonna start patting myself down.
Yeah, it's getting wet, man. It's getting sweaty in here.
Yeah, so they've been hinting at that. I think that's great, having another big star. And I mean, NXT brand split's dead. It's in the water.
It's so funny.
But I do like seeing these bigger stars going down to NXT. Like the Street Profits were there a few weeks ago. Obviously, Baron Corbin's down there. You had why can't I just had it in my head? Why can't I think of
Apollo
it? Dominic
Cruz has been down there.
The fucking champ right now.
I think I'm not gonna say. I mean, and as someone who most of the time doesn't get to watch NXT, doesn't get the opportunity to catch up on it before the show.
There's something I want to talk about NXT later on after all this, but keep going.
The main event,
the Braun Breaker thing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
But is there too much main roster?
I don't. So there's a difference between like main roster people coming in, like taking up matches and stuff, and then having cameos. Like the Street Profits just had like a cameo and stuff like that. Baron Corbin, and also the thing with NXT is it's not like Baron Corbin isn't on there weekly. Like it's kind of there's like weeks where like I don't think Baron Corbin's had a match in like 2-3 weeks even or something like that. So it's like they kind of
sounds like his career.
They spread it out pretty well, and that's always kind of been like that with NXT.
And also because it's no longer a developmental brand anymore. It's like a third.
It is but isn't. It is but isn't, because obviously like you have people there that you're kind of building up to put on the main roster, but you also have people coming down from the main roster there to treat it like a third brand, like you're saying. I think it's nice when you make it work, and I think something like this works. Obviously, Becky's
and it's gonna get views.
NXT's been killing it with viewership and stuff. Yeah. This does nothing but help. I mean, that Becky Lynch being on that show. I mean, they were talking about how they were so close to breaking 1 million viewers. Like Dominic.
Wow.
I think this is gonna.
Dom's killing it too. Shout out
Dom Mysterio. Every single week, no matter what show he's on, is getting better. Well, we'll get like on Raw and stuff. I know we're kind of jumping around. he was talking through the boos this week. Whenever people would boo him, he would just sit there and just let the boos kind of control, and then he wouldn't be able to talk. He's getting better on the mic. He's being able to talk through everything. Every single week, Dominic Mysterio is getting better. I love to see the progression. Love what he's doing.
This is like kind of old, but we never talked about it. ESP, because you brought up Dom. ESPN a few months ago, or last month, put out a top 10 pro wrestlers under 30 list.
Yes, I did see this. Interesting list.
So 10's Logan Paul. He should be higher. 9, Liv Morgan. Love that. Takeshita, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker. 5 is Dominic Mysterio. 4 is Vikingo. 3, Austin Theory.
Yeah, he should go.
2, Rhea Ripley. 1, MJF. Love 1 and 2. Theory should be way lower.
Theory should be lower. I think
love the Vikingo.
Takeshita should be higher.
Takeshita should be higher. I like Carmelo. I love that Liv's on there. I think Dom's a little high.
I think Dom's a little high.
I think Dom's
sure,
that's why I think
that's kind of being generous towards like the heel heat that he gets more than like his actual wrestling and stuff.
Yeah,
his character work is unbelievable right now. So.
I mean, we'll talk about it, but between Raw and fucking the rest of Payback, he's in almost every match because he runs in and interferes. So his face is on TV.
They're giving him the push, that's for sure. But yeah, it'll be cool seeing Stratton and Becky Lynch, seeing how that goes.
I'm looking forward to that. I do gotta make a. It's tough.
Tuesday nights.
Sometimes I want to watch a movie. Yeah. Sometimes I want to watch a TV show.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and like I said, you can always catch it. I like watching it back. They always post like. I follow like WWE on Fox or USA or whatever, and they usually post like 8-minute long videos of like matches or segments or whatever. So I try to catch up on that if I miss it. But yeah,
LA Knight defeats The Miz with John Cena as a special guest referee.
Yeah, he was the host of Payback.
It's true. Cena and Miz cut promos before, which was just even for the sake of just seeing them back in the ring just going at each other. Oh, it felt good.
Old time.
I'm a slut for the nostalgia
stuff. Felt like
stuff.
we're back in 2017 all over again. Yeah.
Love it. It seems like they're building to. I would love this if they're building to run back Miz Cena.
Sure.
While Cena's around.
Then they did.
We'll get
to Raw, but yeah.
Nothing crazy. Solid outing for LA Knight. It was a
fine match. Yeah.
The Miz is a legend. LA Knight is hotter than ever. Cena being the ref was like a fun different thing.
Mix. Yeah. In there.
Little show of respect toward the end with Cena and LA Knight.
Cena was kind of looking at him a little bit when he was raising his hand. Yeah, a
little hesitation.
It would be a nice little rub for LA Knight if Cena put him over.
Yeah,
if they had a match. I think LA Knight getting the win over Cena, like Theory beating Cena. Everyone thought that was going to be his rub. Obviously, didn't work out for him. I think this would be a little different. I think if LA Knight beat Cena, that would be massive.
They're planting some seeds with Cena early.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, he's around for 8 weeks, so might as well take advantage of him while he's here.
Rey Mysterio defeats Austin Theory to retain the U.S. Championship.
I'll be honest, I didn't check this one out. I didn't hear it was anything special, and I really wasn't that interested, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was a part of my rewatch when I was running it back, but also at the time I didn't hear much about it. I'm just happy Rey won. Yeah. Rey retained.
The right man won.
There wasn't a whole lot of LWO, there's no LWO tension still, so I don't know if that's being, I don't know. Rey won. That's really all I have to say about it. I'm looking forward to who he goes at next. I don't know. Another match of the year contender. Finn Balor and Damian Priest defeat Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed tag team titles in a Steel City street fight.
Fun match.
This was fucking sick.
Fun match.
I expected this to be good because they're all pros here. Didn't expect it to be this fun. KO came out in a Terry Funk shirt, which is a really nice touch. There was a spear by Rhea Ripley to KO to the barricade.
That was crazy, yeah.
Sami and KO did this bit where they popped up in full Pittsburgh Penguins hockey gear with Kevin bleeding.
Yeah,
that was probably of the year. Probably some of the coolest imagery,
top tier moment
of them
right there.
Popping up in because they're both Canadian, so the hockey thing, and then they're it's the street fights. They're fighting in the hockey gear and shit, and they throw off the pads and oh my god, or the gloves.
Yeah, they ran with this match. They took full advantage of it.
Kevin hit a crazy swanton from in the crowd, like elevated into a table.
The barricade or whatever. Yeah.
Dom came out, helped a lot. That ended up to a distracted roll up. It was a roll up, right? It wasn't a roll up. Either way, Dom helps out a lot. JD wins. Kind of like you were hoping for, like maybe a month ago or a few weeks ago, whatever. Judgment Day all has gold. They're all standing there.
They have gold. Yeah.
It looks solid.
Some of them have 2 belts. And Priest has the briefcase, too. He is loaded up. Can I say
Priest
something, though? And this is a real thing, because I've seen wrestlers talk about this in interviews. Flying with all that is tough. Going through TSA and stuff, because you have to that's like 50 pounds each belt. So, like, that's like all that extra weight and stuff that you have to pay for. And like,
it's weird that they have to travel with it.
Right?
Like, why wouldn't they
the WWE take it in, like, their equipment stuff?
Right, and then they give it to them at the show.
Like I would get it if, like, I'm, like, the WWE champion. Maybe I want to bring it myself. But if I'm, like, a Damian
or if you're going on talk shows, you have it. Or bring a fucking replica or something.
Anything. If I'm, like, Damian Priest, I'd be like, can you take all this from me?
Does he have to carry? No way he has to carry on the Money in the Bank.
I think he does.
No way.
Austin Theory said that he would use his briefcase as his carry-on.
That's
he would put stuff in the funny. Because there was a video, you open it up, it's, like, very, like, hot, like, it's very hollow. You can throw stuff in there. He goes, I literally would put like all my shit in there, and that would be my carry-on.
Why is that their responsibility to carry? It should not be their forcing these guys to walk through the airport with like these fucking titles.
He's got the belts connected together with the briefcase and his luggage. Like, that's a pain in the ass.
They probably win the undisputed titles. It's 2 belts. They probably win those. Like, oh fuck, all right, TSA is gonna be a bitch now.
I forget which wrestler it was, but someone like made a comment like, I don't want to have a championship for that reason. And it's like, I get it. Like, I get it.
That should 1,000% should be just like property of WWE. Like at the end of the night, they throw them in the truck.
It's one thing you don't think about, but it really is an inconvenience.
That's crazy. and
they travel
stupid.
A lot.
Yeah.
And they travel a lot.
That is really
And if
stupid.
you travel, you throw something in your, you have all that extra weight, you gotta pay extra and stuff. Like, I'm not, hopefully WWE like helps cover that.
Yeah.
Because I think like some wrestlers have to pay like for whatever, but yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Oh yeah, because they're all like independent contractors.
Right. It's a little different. But
where's the Super Show again?
India.
Is it in India?
Yeah, I believe so.
Speaking of travel, I saw Becky Lynch isn't going to be there. She is not going to be there because she had a travel issue because they wouldn't let her through customs. She had a little rip in her passport, so they didn't let her go through. She's not going to be there. Crazy. She posted on like Twitter and whatever.
Crazy how a little small thing like that restricts you from traveling.
I mean, like,
I get it.
It doesn't make the little rip doesn't make sense.
I understand, but it doesn't make it shouldn't. That shouldn't be a thing.
She posted something that was like, where was it? Oh, here it is. I'm sorry to all the fans in India. I was so excited to perform for you, but as there was a tiny tear in my passport, I have not been allowed to board my flight. And then she added the airways.
Yeah, that is kind of ridiculous.
Especially if you're Becky Lynch, bro. Like,
it's like, what do you have to prove who you are? Like, it's an identity thing. Like,
you would think
WWE, a small tear like in the corner, like that doesn't mess up your picture or your information or anything. I don't have a passport, so I don't either. I'll get one day, but yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm really not going to watch this. Now that she's not on the show, I'm not going to watch it. I wasn't going to watch it.
They're not even streaming it. Again, they're not streaming it.
I don't think we're going to be missing anything anyway. So. The busy fall season is already in swing, and just like us here at Stache Club Wrestling, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and stay on track with your healthy wrestling lifestyle. Too busy this fall to cook, but want to make sure you're eating well to get into in-ring shape? With Factor, skip the extra trip to the grocery store and the chopping, prepping, cleaning up while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes. And so all you need to do is heat it up, enjoy, and get back to crushing your goals. I tried the vegan mushroom marsala, and take my word for it, it was one of the best meals that I have ever had. Get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals, enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. Head to factormeals.com/stash50 and use code stash50 to get 50% off. That's code code STASH50 at factormeals.com/STASH50 to get 50% off. Now, back to the video.
But yeah, anyway, back to this match. This was really good. Match of the year contender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a fun match.
Yeah, shocked. I mean, shocked and not shocked that Judgment Day won.
I wasn't expecting them to win. But
yeah.
I'm kind of happy they won because Kevin and Sami, I'm not saying they had a bad title reign, but it had its ups and downs.
Shakes things up.
Kevin Owens was out for a little bit, so the belts weren't being defended. I don't think they really...
I think they'll run it back, too, because Sami's still staying in the picture, so I think they'll run it back,
Yeah, I think they'll keep this going. But yeah, it was refreshing to see some new champs right now. And I think it's cool. You know, we talk about the Judgment Day, seeing all of them with gold just kind of makes things more interesting.
I'm jumping the gun talking about it since we're already here. The JD stuff is so fucking stupid.
I mentioned this before.
And I'll admit, like I love the Judgment Day stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm not as big of a fan as like other people of it, but I think the Judgment Day stuff is great. The presentation, I mean, Rhea is the leader.
She's the leader. She's the star of the show.
Solidified of the leader, and I think her role in that is so fucking good. Mm-hmm. Everyone's role is really good. I'm giving Damian his flowers here. Everyone looks good. Damian's had a career year. So yeah, but they're shoehorning this fucking JD story, and let them just be sick. And
I think, and I've mentioned this before, War Games is in November. I think he's kind of being in the mix so he can kind of be in that. I think if Judgment Day is going to be in that match 1,000%.
Because they'll probably do like it would be Sami, Kevin, Cody, maybe Jey.
I was thinking Jey. Yeah. I just think it kind of balances it out a little bit more for that. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, it's kind of like obviously at least there's some story there with him and Finn being friends and stuff. So it's not like he's just, this NXT call up is just in Judgment. He's not even in it, you know what I mean?
I would rather them just drop the JD shit and just start like a faction feud. Start a feud.
It's just another side story.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Side stories. So
yeah. Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes. Cody says he pulled some strings to bring main event Jey Uso to Raw. Jey Uso returns and comes out. Huge crowd reaction.
They love him.
So this is interesting. I love Jey Uso being back. Mm-hmm. But it's only been 2 weeks since he did his quitting thing.
I wish they
should have. Yeah.
I wish they kind of.
I'm sure they.
What's the word?
Prolonged it
a little bit.
I'm sure they have a plan. I get it.
He did mention it on Raw. He goes, I know we've only been gone for a few weeks and stuff. So we kind of mentioned it. But
I feel like it was such a cool moment and such because again, we're taking time off with the bloodline. Mm-hmm. And it would have been cool for maybe like a month or two to be like, Jey Uso quit. They even took him off the alum page and like all that shit.
When's their next? Is Fastlane their next pay-per-view?
Good question. Yeah. I haven't even caught wind of it.
Yeah, what's
PLE?
Yeah, what's their pay-per-view schedule? Because I feel like they could have
starting back in 1998 or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
Where are we?
Go down.
2023 September was Payback.
October 7th. Yeah, I feel like they could have waited another month, have him do what they just did at Fastlane.
Yeah,
it's like obviously it was still a cool moment. Everyone loves Jey Uso, so like whatever.
I just think they jumped the gun on it. Yeah, I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, it feels
when you do something like someone quits or something, like make it feel real. Like, and we talked about him earlier, CM Punk.
Yeah,
when he won the belt and he was like, I'm gonna defend this like all over the place, whatever. He came back.
Did he show up the next night?
No, not the next night. The week after.
Oh, okay.
So he was gone for 8 days. It's like you did this whole thing about him walking up, not signing a new contract, and he's back a week later. Give that like a month or two. Like that.
I feel like they at least like played into it.
They did
a little more, and he was also the champion.
But when you're trying to tie in real life stuff, kind of, and also like Jey Uso, like his family, like whatever, I'm quitting. You don't have to just jump the gun and bring him back right away. I get it. Everyone loves him. He's a ratings thing. And again, it was still a cool moment. Yeah. I'm happy that he's on Raw and all this stuff.
I think there also could have been like and again, Pop was huge. Cody rub. Not that Jey needs the Cody rub, but I don't know. Have him like surprise return.
It was still I don't know. It still was a surprise.
It was.
It was just like, who was expecting him on the Grayson Waller effect being on Raw? But I think it would have been nicer if they held out a little longer.
We'll tie this into Raw. It's all kind of the same thing. So Jey appeared on Raw. We'll talk more specifically when we get to it. But like they're building some stuff, and we'll talk about the Sami thing, which was really, really fucking good. But Adam Pearce made note of they got Jey on Raw, but it's going to be a trade. So they're trading someone to SmackDown.
I wonder who that's going to be.
It's probably going to be Matt Riddle.
Someone had to say it. Yeah. I mean,
it make like Roman's off SmackDown. They need a star. Cody, see you on Friday.
And Cody's gonna be on Raw next week. He's gonna have a little promo. Could be him talking about how I'm going to SmackDown.
And it makes sense.
And it makes Cody's the one Cody's the one that brought Jey to Raw. I mean, it would make sense if he's the one that gets sent to SmackDown.
Even it makes more sense of like you gotta put him close to Roman. You gotta put him.
Even though the brand split is dead, they're acting
dead.
Like it is. And also, I don't know if you saw Cody's Instagram story. So WWE put out this thing. It was like, "What's the best catchphrase in wrestling?" And Roman Reigns front page acknowledgement. He posted that on his story of Roman Reigns. So kind of hinting at just kind of planting some seeds that he still has his eyes on Roman.
I hope this is the case. Get Cody they tease Cody with the World Heavyweight Championship picture. Yeah. That's pretty out of the way. I'm glad.
My only wish and hope that when Cody goes to SmackDown, the way that he does challenge Roman at WrestleMania, because that's going to be the match. I think there's no way Roman Reigns is fighting anyone else. Don't have Cody win the Rumble again. You can figure out any other way. Elimination Chamber. Fucking I'll put my career like anything. Like you can do anything else. Don't make him a two-time winner.
If you do the same thing, then it just like it goes back to the point of like you should have won the year before.
Exactly. And then it's like you have another world championship now, so that kind of gives you a reason to have someone else win it besides Cody, so they can go after the other belt.
They could even do something fun. They haven't done it. I know, like when did they have the Royal Rumble for? They had it for the world title, or they had it
2016 Roman Reigns.
I think so, right?
It was the WWE Championship. Yeah.
You could even intertwine the Intercontinental Championship with the Royal Rumble. That's a workhorse match.
Sure.
You could do the winner of this either wins the Intercontinental Championship and Chad Gable wins it.
Yeah, or you get that and a main event match, a world championship match.
There's a lot of creative stuff you can do with it to not I definitely agree with you.
I know we're looking ahead here, but just make it, hard times, have Cody lose the Rumble match, be like, how can I get to Roman now? And it's like you figure out different ways of how he can get into the main event, but that's looking far ahead.
Rhea Ripley retains her Women's World Championship against Raquel Rodrigues. Solid match, admittedly. During the start of this match, like I said, we kind of came back from being out, came back from the bar, came back from wherever we are. So we're a couple drinks in, so we are locked in. Anything was entertaining.
Oh yeah, riled up.
And not to say that this match was good.
Yeah.
But it could not have been good. And I was with my friends, and I would have just been like, woo! Same thing for apparently, people are saying that this match in the main event kind of floundered in terms the rest of the show because the tag match and the steel cage match was so good.
Sure.
However, I disagree. I had a blast watching these two matches. Rhea Ripley retains. Fun, entertaining. It was finally her first match, her first real defense.
Yeah, I agree.
This was cool. My friends love Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
they loved Rhea, which was just always. It's always fun to see when non-wrestling fans see what they connect with and what they don't.
Me and Kevin watched some Monday Night Raw with me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I cooked. I cooked late that night, so by the time I was done, it was 8. Did I? No, maybe they went out that night.
And Kevin was like,
back.
Please, Dante, can I watch Monday Night Raw?
Can I watch wrestling with you? No, I'm watching, and he just kind of sits down, and I was just kind of just talking to him about everything, like the Judgment Day and stuff. He goes, "Oh, that's Rey Mysterio's son," and I'm like, "Yeah, that is Rey Mysterio's son." And then Well, we'll get into Raw, but like then like Kofi Kingston came out. He goes, "Oh, it's Kofi Kingston." And stuff. He goes, "Kofi Kingston just got put through a table." And this guy, he just put someone through a table. I'm just like, what the fuck? It was pretty funny. It was cool.
What everyone has some sort of like connection.
Whether you're a true wrestling fan, like you watch it every week or not, you know someone, you've heard of someone, you have some sort of connection, like you said.
I went on a date like a couple weeks ago, like maybe a month ago or whatever. And you kind of bring up like I do.
Damn, this guy fucks.
I do. Well, I haven't seen her since, but so
I almost did a spit take there. That was a bad time to sip coffee.
But anyway, I like bring up like I do like wrestling content, YouTube channel, whatever. And then like even she brought up, she's like, "Oh wow, I used to watch it when I was like 8, and I used to and she's like, I haven't really." And I said, "Yeah, that's when most people." And she's like, and then I stopped, and I was like, most people do.
Yeah.
But like, moral of the story is like, most people, even if they're just like a young kid and they watch like a year when they were like 7.
Or even they have like a younger cousin or a sibling that watches it. So like
always something.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Yeah, this was good. And
then they're fighting again on Raw.
More Dom. Oh yeah, that's right.
So
yeah.
I think it's like a no interference, like
right, because Dom interfered in this again, which is like I get the Dom I don't know, maybe ease up on the Dom interferences.
Yeah,
here.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Rhea is on fire. She looks great with the title. She is the leader of Judgment Day. I love her position now.
Yeah, there's no doubt that she's the leader. There is zero doubt that she's the leader.
Main event, Seth freaking Rollins defeats Shinsuke Nakamura to retain his World Heavyweight Championship.
And that's how I won the predictions championship.
That is how you won. Now, at the time, and this isn't even me just because I had a different pick or whatever, at the time, wrong decision. I really, really thought Shinsuke should have won.
The way they were building it up made it seem like he was
the anime entrance with like the anime entrance telling the story in like the anime style of like I'm gonna break his back and I'm gonna win.
Just the video packages, everything they've done for this has been unbelievable.
This match felt big.
This is the biggest I think Shinsuke has felt since he's been on the main roster.
I'd agree.
Maybe obviously winning the Royal Rumble is a big thing, but this is the first time where he's actually felt like, wow, he's going to win a world championship. Like, he feels like a genuine threat.
This felt, and maybe it's recency bias, but this felt bigger than his AJ feud.
Probably. I think with the whole AJ feud, it was like he lost, and it was a shock moment that he lost, but he wasn't presented as, he wasn't a bad guy.
Right, they were also doing, like, the weird low blow shit.
Yeah, that was, Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was great. Again, my friends were really into it, which was fun to see. They were going to go home, and then my buddy Dan, he was kind of like, well, and then Lauren was like, do you want to stay and watch Shinsuke and Seth? He was like, I want to win. So
I want to watch Shinsuke and Seth.
So we stayed and watched it. Even we were all riding for Shinsuke. Dan was saying, if I stay this and if I watch the whole thing and Shinsuke loses, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh boy.
He did end up losing.
And he was pissed.
So like I said, I really think at the time I really thought Shinsuke should have won. However, it seems like, especially after, they didn't show this for some fucking reason.
Yeah,
they didn't show this on Payback.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
He attacked Seth after the show, and then also on Raw, had another confrontation. They attacked each other, whatever. There was another video package and even a promo thing, which we'll talk about.
Feud's still going on,
so
which I'm happy about.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
If it was a one and done, I would have been like, Shinsuke should have won.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned that during the predictions, or whenever it was.
Probably.
I was like, I do want this. I definitely tweeted about it. I was like, I would definitely want this feud to go beyond Payback, because the way they're building up Shinsuke, you can't build him up for this one match, and then if he loses, you can keep the momentum riding, but like that's a big loss. Like if you keep him in the picture and have another match, then it's like, okay, like he's sticking around. Now,
love it.
If they have a rematch, we'll say Fastlane a month from now.
Shinsuke has to
predictions
win.
Time. My prediction might be Shinsuke. I think I definitely would. I'm more confident in Shinsuke winning the rubber match, the second match, than the first one. So we'll see what happens. But I'm happy that they're extending it.
We'll jump into Raw. We'll circle back to all that because there's a lot to
also
talk
fun
about.
Fact: first time the World Heavyweight Championship has main evented a pay-per-view since they got unified in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's just because Roman Reigns is on the beach for 4 months. But
yeah. And he will be
and who else is going to
2 months. Yeah.
But nice. That's cool.
Yeah. Cool little fact.
I'm liking the. I think they've done a good job. Granted, Seth is the only one that's held it so far, but I'm liking what they're doing with the World Heavyweight Championship. It's feeling more and more important.
With the Intercontinental Championship workhorse belt, again,
we'll talk about it.
It's on every single week, so got a lot of Raw notes.
Hey, Raw's a 3-hour show.
It's a long show.
We
talked about some stuff already, kind of.
We're gonna do the reverse a little bit on Raw because
let's talk about the most important.
I was gonna say it's an hour in. I kind of had this idea. We did go on, which I like. I like that we kind of just like started going on tangents, started interweaving other stuff throughout the shows. But
this is our podcast. We can talk in whatever order we want.
We're gonna start out with Gunther and Chad Gable.
I was so convinced that this was going to be the moment Chad Gable won.
That's crazy.
Daughters,
I didn't think
his daughters were there. They were
true.
having all these video packages, everything. But obviously he's going to break the record on Friday. So like, I'm not upset Chad Gable lost because I did want Gunther to break the record. There's no disrespect whatsoever to the Honky Tonk Man, but he shouldn't be the record holder for any championship as the longest reigning champion. I'm sorry. That's just factual.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Gunther is going to break the record because he is.
Needed to.
He is. People, some old heads might disagree with this. That's true. People like Pedro Morales, they're going to talk about even like, and I get like the Miz and stuff. He's not older, but like the Miz is up there.
Miz is the conversation.
Then you talk about the Ultimate Warriors.
During this night, they were showing all the
different people.
Left out CM Punk.
Gunther, shocking. Gunther is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
I agree with you.
Even with one reign, he has done more for that championship than anyone has in a very, very, very long. He's made it feel like a world championship. And I want to say, the Miz, I don't want to disrespect him. I think he did a very similar thing when he was the champ back in 2016. He made that feel prominent as well. But what Gunther is doing with this belt right now is second to none.
I'd give Miz number 2.
I give Miz number 2. No, I'm with you there. I think Miz is a solid number 2. Miz actually is only like, I want to say he's like single digits or low double digits away from having the most combined days as champion. So if he wins the belt and he holds it for 1 week or 2 weeks, he'll be the
IC champion?
Yeah, cumulative champion.
Wow.
So I think he's had it 8 times or something like that.
Wow.
So like he's only a few days away from being like all-time most days having the belt. But anyways, Gunther is the greatest IC champion of all time. The matches he's had, the credibility, the prominence he's brought to the belt is unbelievable. I am happy that he won. The match fucking slapped.
Yeah,
it was so good. So good. Chad Gable had his shine. Gunther looked dominant as ever. It could have gone either way. I would have been happy if Gable won, but I'm not mad that Gunther won.
I mean, I think I saw something. It was either something posted on social media or something, but Chad Gable released like a video or some shit.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And he was like, I'm going to win the championship. So they're gonna have another match.
So this is what after watching that, this is what I think.
What do we got?
I know this is kind of like a little out, like towards the future. Gunther, I don't think, is he there? I'm not saying he's not there. Could he challenge for a world championship right now? Absolutely. I'm not saying that. But I think the best time for Chad Gable to win the Intercontinental Championship is at WrestleMania. I'm just saying, dude, WrestleMania 40, every 10 years, I know, Redacted and Eddie Guerrero at the end of WrestleMania 20. The two like small guys, two in-ring guys, not the big muscle guys, close out the show. WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan with the championships. WrestleMania 40, who closes it out? Chad Gable.
Sorry, got my booster shot the other day.
Chad Gable and Cody Rhodes. Chad Gable and Cody Rhodes ending WrestleMania 40 as the champs. I'm just saying, you can do a hard time story with Chad Gable, how he's like, I swear I'm going to do it. All right, so he lost all these matches.
You want to wait all the way?
Listen. With Gunther's reign, I think you can still have him like have incredible feuds, whatever, and get back to that moment, because would it make sense for Chad Gable to get another rematch a month from now? He just lost a few times. Should there be someone next in line? Probably. From a storyline standpoint, right? I think now's the best time where you give Gable a few months of like working his way back, and like you can have these segments, you can have these stories, these feuds where it's like, I need to get to the point where I am at his level.
Maybe he like slowly drops like the shoosh and like he becomes more and more serious.
And I think there's something you can build up there where it's just like, is he on Gunther's level? I'm not saying he isn't, but I'm just saying like obviously he can't get the upper hand of Gunther in these one-on-one like he got the count out victory, but he can't pin Gunther. Have these things where it's like, I gotta prove myself, I gotta get better, I have to get to the point where I can beat him. And Gunther, like, he's having such a great reign. I don't see why he doesn't have to lose the belt a week after breaking the record.
There's a lot more matches I want to see with Gunther.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't think this run isn't like dried out. Like this run is on fire right now. You don't have to extinguish that right now. If Chad Gable didn't beat him, this past Monday, I don't think there's anyone else that should beat Gunther. You could have Gunther feud with this guy. That I mean, I can't think of a million names right now, but you know what I mean. Like you could have credible feuds leading up to WrestleMania. Even
give me like KO or Sami and
anything
Gunther.
Like that. John Cena's here for 8 weeks.
Cena would be crazy.
Cena's never won the Intercontinental Championship. You want to talk about giving guys a rub?
Be fun.
John Cena can put Gunther over. It's like, I want the IC Championship. I've never won that. Gunther beats the shit out of him. You know what I mean? I think there's something there that you can work with. And I get it. It's a long ways away. But this isn't like a Jimmy J bleeding into Mania. This isn't a Cody Roman kind of stretching out to Mania. This makes sense. I think this makes a lot more sense. Where like this can stretch out that far and it won't feel like, oh, this is like we have to wait 6-7 months to get to that. I think they can make it work. I really do.
Interesting. Yeah.
And again, like you said, like he starts losing the shoosh. He starts getting more serious. He starts maybe like
growing his hair out again.
Maybe separates himself from Alpha Academy. He's like, I got to focus on this belt and stuff. I think that there's something that they could do with that. I just WrestleMania. If Gunther hasn't been pinned since being on the main roster, you're hyping him up as the next big boss, like that. That's the end boss, whatever. Have him lose the belt at Mania. I'm just saying. That's my.
I like the fantasy pick. For some reason, it seems like they're really. I think it's going to happen sooner. The way they're working is. It seems like it's going to be another match at Fastlane.
Could be, but then I go back to me thinking like again, from a storyline standpoint, does it make sense that they keep giving him match after match after match after match? Not exactly. Could they do it? Yeah, they can make it make sense.
They would do it all the time.
And again, they could do something like I said it with Cody. Like if I can't beat you, I'll hang up my boots or something.
Sure,
you could do something as easy as that, but I also think that's too easy. Build the storyline here. Build Chad Gable up. You think he's like Cody lost at Mania. People are like, he's not going to be as big as he was next year.
Right.
There's a good chance he will be. Chad Gable, he just lost. There's no chance he's going to be as hot as he is right now. Give him 6-7 months. Give him a good storyline. I think he'll even be bigger. And that moment will be bigger if he wins at Mania than it was on a random episode of Raw.
I guess especially...
That's all I'm saying.
I guess especially if you cool him off for a while and then like you forget about him and then 4 or 5 months go down, his music hits and he's like, I'm back for that, you know?
Yeah. That's what they're doing. Cody, they cooled him off. Not cooled him off, but he lost to Brock. He had these all different feuds. He had a match with Dom Mysterio, for God's sakes. Like, he can do different things. He can do different things in the meantime. I guess I'm just curious, because now I have no... It seems like they're keeping him close to the title, but like they haven't really touched upon it much. So it's at this point, it's really just let's see what happens on Raw in the next couple of weeks to see what in the world they're doing. It literally could be a Cody thing where it's like, yeah, you're keeping him close to the title, but not being in the picture. Where it's like in the back of my head, like I'm gonna get that title back.
Yeah.
Like Cody's like, I'm gonna finish the story and get that belt back, but he's on a different brand and he's not touching Roman.
Right.
Chad's like in the back of my head, I promise you, I'm gonna win that belt. But he's not competing for the belt, technically.
Yeah. So at the very least, I'm with you on, like, it would be kind of funny. He's like, oh, I broke the record, and then I lost it, like, at the next pay-per-view or whatever. Right. Like, if you broke the record, it's the same thing. And Roman's going on a 3-year streak and more. So it's
Triple H is loving these long runs.
He does.
So I'm just saying,
for better or worse sometimes. But
I think this would be for the better.
I think this would be for the better.
I think this would be for the better. Yeah. So
interesting.
I'm going to take off my my fantasy hat right now, my fantasy booking hat. But yeah, I
love when it goes on. I'll tell you.
Once I saw that interview with Chad Gable, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
I think that would be a
interesting.
Cool moment.
Be interesting. Yeah, I'm at this point. I'm just really curious. Is like, what are they going to either get? Because they're going to do that, or they're going to keep him around and maybe just have him. Maybe they don't even put it on him, which would be a tragedy.
Which I think we're at a point now where it's like he's got to win it. He has to win it, especially at I promise you I'm going to win it. Why would they have him do something like that if he's not? So
my only thing, this is like a very nitpicky thing, but 2 commercial breaks during this
should have been commercial free. I saw your tweet. Should have been commercial free. Yeah, 100%.
And like you said, Gunther made Gable's kids cry.
Makes it even better.
Beautiful.
My God.
Yeah,
beautiful. Whether the kids were told they
had
to cry,
kids.
great
Good
acting. They have a bright future ahead of them.
Thank you.
Bright future.
Yeah.
Whenever their next match is, I'm looking forward to it. But
looking forward to it.
I want it to be at WrestleMania. That's all I'm saying.
Where do we want to go next? We just start back at the bottom with Jey.
Sure, Jey.
Jey comes out. Okay. So we talked a lot about the Jey stuff, but we said we talk about it more in depth. Sami Zayn comes out with Jey, and he's basically like, "I'm happy for you." All of this stuff. Offers out a handshake. Jey denies it. Sami goes to leave, and then Jey says, "That wouldn't be very oozy of me, now would it, Sami?"
Yeah.
Turn around. Big hug. Huge.
Jey has the crowd in the palm of his hands, walking out the whole
anyone that still says that Jey isn't like made for that spot or whatever still is delusional.
And you gotta give credit to Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, because they gave him that.
Oh yeah,
they put him in that position and stuff, and he's taking the ball and he's ran with it. I also kind of liked how he was like, "There's a lot of people in the back that aren't gonna like you because of things that you've done in the past."
So yeah, I mean they played on when they went back up the ramp. Drew came out and they passed him, and then also Riddle came out. Did Riddle injure someone?
Riddle had a feud with Roman, but when they had the unification match for the tag team championships, that was Randy's last match before he got hurt. So they were feuding with the Usos.
Okay.
So there's a tie there. Also, Drew posted on Twitter a picture of them beating Drew down with chairs, and then the picture underneath was him staring down Jey on the ramp and stuff. So Drew remembers. Drew remembers. He's got a good memory.
What I liked is like Sami was like, "Hey, it's just it's his first day. It's his first day. Like back off him." Mm-hmm. But yeah, and even like there's a lot of stuff you can have with Jey on Raw, which I'm excited about.
Me too.
Something. Viking Raiders defeat Drew and Riddle in a tornado tag match. Yeah. I'm still not sold on the Viking Raiders, but every week I get more and more sold on them.
At least they're getting TV time.
They are getting
a win. That's big. I think they're still just they're leading into Drew's gonna turn heel at some point. Like backstage, he was like
low key. What if Drew joins the Viking Raiders and becomes like a Viking leader?
If that happens, I'm gonna be very convinced that his contract is running out and they're just putting him and having him do anything at this point.
And then Kofi comes out.
Wouldn't make sense.
There's some New Day storytelling here. Kofi comes out and ends up distracting, costing Riddle get thrown through a table like Kevin saw. And then whatever.
Backstage, he was like, "If more stuff, I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open if things keep happening." Whatever.
Right.
He walks away. That's why something's gonna happen with Drew, but.
Shinsuke video promo, vowing to win the World Heavyweight Championship. They're keeping this going. Seth promo calls out, responding to Shinsuke, saying, "Let's finish what they started." Shinsuke comes out. They're going back and forth. And then Seth offers Shinsuke a title rematch right then and now.
Fighting champ.
And Shinsuke says no. Which
what'd you say?
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
I think the only thing I can think of is like he goes, "If another match, it's gonna be on my terms." Something like that. I guess that's what I think. But I don't think they could have just been like Seth comes like, "Come down here and fight me." Like you didn't have to do the whole
Seth
belt
is
thing.
Injured. And Shinsuke looked fine. Seth is injured. Why wouldn't he be like, oh, okay, word, I'll take you up on that, and then beat him clean?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No, I'm with you. That part confused me.
If they said, which I still wouldn't have liked it, but if they said like, no, I want it to be when if they said something like that,
it would have made more sense.
But the fact he was just like, no, don't want it. Like, what do you mean? I get what they were doing. I just don't think that was executed well.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There's a lot of people sticking up for that, but like,
I'm just happy that the feud's still going on.
Yeah, that's really all
I'll get over it.
They brawl. Shinsuke goes after Seth's back again. Bada bing, bada boom. Love this feud. Ricochet ends up defeating Seth via disqualification because of Shinsuke. He runs in. Ricochet saves Seth, runs Shinsuke off of the chair, and they show Damian Priest backstage plotting with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and Rhea says, it's not time. Not time. Wait on it. Which, again, I don't think they needed to show him.
So,
get
into the next, because I see that's the next topic with the Judgment Day promo.
What? You want me to just go to that? What?
About how he got the new briefcase and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
I think this opened wasn't this like...
No,
earlier?
You would think so.
Okay, maybe not. I think I'm getting the timelines mixed up.
I mean, it's the same Judgment Day promo every week, so I don't blame you. But they come out, they look great. I will say, so this goes back to Payback. Finn Balor, just a little goofy. I'll say that because he's like, I get it, but they have like, they're on the ramp and they just won the titles, and then Finn is like, clearly they told him to like sell the fact that they have all the gold. So Seth is like on the ramp and he's like, we got all the gold. And it's like, it just sounded like silly. Like the way he said it is like, he's like, we have all the championships. We get it.
Slam champ.
And then like Dom Mysterio was like also seemed like told to say something. So he's like kind of in the back and he's like, yeah, we do. And it's like, it just was, came off so silly. But anyway, JD McDonough comes out after they're all gloating or whatever, and then everyone's like, JD's here, da, 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 da. And then he's like, you need to get rid of that Money in the Bank briefcase and replace it with this surprise thing that I'm holding like a briefcase.
He brings it out. Me and Kevin watched that. I'm like, I bet you that's
he was holding it like a briefcase. I was like,
I see what they're doing.
With the handle.
Yeah, I see what this is. Love a good custom Money in the Bank briefcase.
It looks sick.
Love a good
I like
custom
it.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say. So this was, I think it was like not even like during the show. It was, maybe it was. They did a backstage video. It may have been just for social media, whatever, where they had the two briefcases. And this is the first time I think that they ever actually showed like the contract. There's like a contract inside.
Oh, yeah.
So they moved it from one to the other.
Except for like way back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were just like, what should I do with this briefcase? Like, they have their own fucking room now. Kind of like the Bloodline had their own. They have their own separate. Yeah. So, and I saw this tweet. I thought this was very interesting. Damian Priest goes to cash in one day. There's no contract in there. But guess who has the briefcase with the contract in it? Finn Balor. What if
I saw that too. I'd like that.
Some small chance this happens where Finn Balor has the briefcase and he cashes in on whoever. That would be fucking crazy if they did that. That'd be fun. That would be fun. I'd feel bad for Damian, but that would be fucking insane storytelling if after all they're having their beef, they win the tag team titles, they're back on the same page, and he turns on Damian by cashing in. Oh my god!
I like that. Yeah.
Like, he goes, "What should we do? We should just get rid of this." No, we'll keep it. We'll keep it in the room, dude.
You do a little contract switch with like a fake one or something, because in recent memory they haven't played up the contract much, or like like you kind of saying the contents of it. So like, would be fun and refreshing. Goes cash it in, but also they'd have to like. Because they never open it up, so they'd have to. I think they can do it.
Play it.
They got to be creative with it.
You have to be creative with it, 100%.
And then you go to open it up or like whatever the fuck, and
like some like things pop out or something like what do they call it? When you open up the can, like the things.
Yeah.
Like just a silly thing. Or maybe that's a little too silly for the Judgment Day, but.
Damian cashes it in. They have the match. Damian wins,
and they open
because they got to open it, and then they stop and they go, upon further inspection, the contract is not in here. Damian doesn't win the title. Like some shit.
And hits him with the briefcase.
Sure, I do like that a lot.
Would be fucking so, because obviously we've never seen anything like that with Money in the Bank before, so I think that would be unbelievably creative.
Yeah.
How... Again, I'm going off of a tweet that I saw. That would be fucking crazy. Whoever tweeted that, I don't know, credit to you. But that would be nuts.
Yeah,
that would
be
pretty
that.
cool. That would be pretty cool.
I'm be a fan of that. Shayna Baszler defeats Zoey Stark. And what's also a fun match, they had some time. It was a real fucking fight. Like some real...
They have similar styles of wrestling.
It showcased the two well. I think they both needed this win, but they both needed the match. Shayna is coming off the Ronda stuff. She's being presented pretty fresh.
But she still hasn't done...
She hasn't done much after it. So I liked that she got the win. However, I also think Zoey Stark might have been worth picking up the win if she's going to transition to a feud with Trish.
It's two people that needed a win.
Yeah, which they both look good, which I think was
they had a little handshake.
Goal.
They had a little knuckle thing at the end.
Show respect, which I think was good. Plus, it makes sense. Shayna's the vet. Zoey is still like the up-and-comer working her way up. So, like, I get it.
Yeah.
Raquel Rodrigues defeats Chelsea Green. Piper Niven is injured. These women's tag team titles are cursed.
Yeah, no, I think I read she just has she was sick or something. I think she'll be back next week or a week after. Gotcha. Yeah, so thank God, because whoever has the belt, something happens.
Yeah.
Something fucking happens.
More or less a squash match for Raquel.
Which is stupid. I don't know why Chelsea had to get squashed.
Yeah, pick someone else.
If you're gonna feed someone to Raquel, get anyone else.
Yeah,
anyone.
It shouldn't be someone who's a champion.
No, not
I agree
at
with
all.
that. But this was, keeping Raquel strong. Bada bing, bada boom. Miz,
segment of the night.
God, this was
besides good. Chad Gable, Gunther, this was segment of the night, man.
Miz TV with the invisible John Cena. The Miz, which I feel bad for the live crowd. Hearing the music, John Cena's music.
Yeah, I was like, because when he was introducing him, I was like, there's no way he's coming out. They would have advertised him if he was going to be on the show.
So Miz invites Cena down to the ring. His music hits, and this was just I didn't pick up on it right away.
Once he started going to the corner, when the camera zoomed, he was going out. I was like, I
thought he was looking for him.
No,
it took commentary to say something where I was like, oh.
Once he's backed up and then he started running to the right, I was just like, oh.
And there's
okay, I think I get this.
I loved the idea. I think it was funny once I realized what it was, but there's no way the majority of people got it immediately, or especially the live
audience was probably
audience probably didn't. That no shot the cameraman translated.
100%. Up when the Miz was saying acting like he was talking to him, that's when they were
I was like, oh, he's invisible.
You can't see him.
I thought that was it's really, really creative with the cameraman following the entrance.
I'm also happy that they finally fed into that meme. How would they not? After all these years, you have the you can't see him thing. And it's
genuinely, I think that's my least favorite and one of the least funny jokes. I hate it.
I think there's some of it's funny.
Hate it. It's whenever there's a picture of John Cena. Hey, how come The Rock is standing next to no one? I think it's so played out and unfunny. Clearly, there
is something that are funny. No, maybe not every single joke is funny.
I'm not trying to be a wet towel here.
No. This was good though.
This was fantastic.
This was gold. The crowd was like, holy shit! No one else but the Miz could do this. No one else but the Miz could pull this off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Miz cuts a promo on an invisible Cena. He hits him with a skull-crushing finale.
Come on.
Again, like you just said, who fucking else?
Come on.
Who fucking else?
The Miz, bro, we talk about this. This guy has been in the dumps for years. And now this guy can become hot again just like that. Come on.
He genuinely is one of the best.
I would love it if he had one actual legitimate world title reign before he retires again, because he won the WWE championship, the Money in the Bank. He main evented WrestleMania with John Cena, which people say that he was just LA Knight said it you were just a backstory to Cena and The Rock, which was true.
Yeah.
Then he wins it a second time. He only held on to it for a week.
Right.
And that was during the Thunderdome and stuff. So that was a whole different thing.
Fucking crazy.
I would love. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things.
So weird. I forget about. Yeah.
He was just. They didn't want Drew to lose clean to Bobby, so they had him. Whatever. So
nuts.
I would love him to have one whether it's the World Heavyweight Championship, WWE Undisputed, whatever the fuck it's called. I would love to see him have like one like solid like 3-4 month reign with the belt. I'm not saying that he's like his time's ticking, but I just want to see him. Like, he's a guy from where he began to where he is now. Like, he's the definition of a hard worker. Like, he really grinded for where he is now, and I think he's done so much for that company. Publicly, like going on television shows, representing the company, doing reality shows. Reward him for it.
I think people get so caught up with I think people get caught up in two things. One, they get caught up in when they were younger, and the Miz the Miz didn't catch his stride until around that I mean, he was I'm not saying he was bad before then, but when people were oh shit, it was his IC run, or when he started making the IC belt credible. I mean, I enjoyed him when he tagged with Morrison and all that.
Yeah, I mean, he was tag team. He was in the tag team scene for a while.
But I feel like people get caught up in how Miz was presented back in the day when we were kids and we were younger. And then also I think when he's a heel when you're a kid, that you can't remove it when you're an adult, and you're the Miz sucks. The Miz stinks.
Well,
that was his character when you were a kid. But for a lot of people aren't taking a step back from I mean, the Miz is how long has he been around? Fucking.
He technically started. He did the Diva Search thing. I want to say since 2004, 2005.
That's crazy.
Almost 20 years.
Nuts.
Again, from where he started,
and
you hear
that's what I mean.
You hear the stories of him getting kicked out of the locker room, this and that. His first ever promo, I saw this on TikTok. I forget if it was for a document. I forget what it was for exactly, but he was he went out for the Diva Search thing. First promo, he said he literally messed up every single one of his lines, and he was he went back. He's in his head. He was I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna go backstage. Vince fired me. He goes up to Vince. He goes, I am so sorry. That's never gonna happen again. And Vince is you're right. That's never gonna happen again. And then from that point on, he worked on fucking everything, and we see where he is now.
And then people still claim he's not a good wrestler. He's that's what
Is he the best technical wrestler in the world? No, he's not. But he is just, for what from his character work to the mic work to how it translates in the ring, it all works. And he's a fine wrestler. He's had great matches.
I think he's a good wrestler.
Look back on his matches with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
His Intercontinental Champion matches in 2017, 2018, 2016. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
No, that guy has had amazing matches. He is, again, besides Gunther, The Miz is number 2 best Intercontinental champions. He needs, I think, 2 more reigns to have most of all time. I would like to see him have that. He's a few weeks away from having most cumulative reigns. I would love to see him get that at some point.
That's what I guess.
He's won the tag team championship many times. Look up his accomplishments.
He's decorated.
He's a 2-time Grand Slam champion. Him and Seth Rollins are the only 2 people that can say that.
Right. Or the accolades
championships
here.
And accomplishments. Okay.
Oh man! All right.
Here we go.
WWE champion 2 times. WWE IC champion 8 times. WWE US champion 2 times. WWE tag team champion 4 times. WWE SmackDown tag team champion 2 times. Oh man! SmackDown champion 2 times.
8-time tag team champion.
World Tag Team 2. Mixed Match Challenge. Money in the Bank.
Triple Crown, Grand
25th
Slam,
Triple Challenge champion.
2-time Grand Slam,
Slammy Award winner.
Come on, man.
He won Most Improved in 2008 and 2009 for Wrestling Observer.
Tag Team of the Year. Yeah, dude. I'm just saying.
Worst feud with Dexter Lumis. That's fair. That's valid.
That's fair. Worst match.
Damian at WrestleMania.
Oh, that was the that was for the what was that? The zombie movie with Batista in it. And The Miz actually tore his ACL or something, and then all the zombies surrounded him when he was in the middle. It was that was Thunderdome.
Forgot about that.
That was literally just because it was a lumberjack match with zombies.
Right.
Thunderdome era.
That was not good.
People forget about that. Also, star of 10 Marines and stuff, bro. I mean, come on. The guy does all these things for WWE, movies, the television, the reality shows, Miz and Mrs. I mean, come on. The guy's without a doubt a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt that he's a Hall of Famer.
That's just what I mean. Yeah, again, I think people just get caught up with who he used to be, and for some reason can't take a step back and they just dislike him because he does come off as a douchebag because that's his character.
That's his character.
But I think people get wrapped up in that, and I mean, I'm not trying to speak for people, but yeah, I think it is very silly if you can't just admit that The Miz is talented and a good wrestler, and he's one of the best. He really is one of the best.
Give the Miz his flowers, dude. When you talk about like one of the best wrestlers of this, like of our generation, I'm talking like late 2000s to now, accomplishments, accolades, notable people. I'm sorry, the Miz's name is thrown in there. I'm sorry.
I'm with you.
People might give me flack for saying that. Maybe not. Maybe it's a hot take. I don't know. But like, how can you not? Like, he's been one of the best heels in WWE for 10, 15 years. He had a little face run for a little bit, but it didn't work because he's not a face.
Right.
He's a bad guy. Anytime he touches him, like, again, he went probably a year. He might not even won a match.
I feel like we're going around.
And then he comes back out of the woodwork.
Like the point's been made.
Well, I just want to give him his damn flowers. I want to give his flowers, and he comes out of the woodworks for LA Knight, and now he's back to being as relevant as ever.
Yeah, 1,000. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He's so good at what he does, and I love him. I love The Miz.
Speaking of movies, because I don't think we ever talked about this. Hear about the Iron Claw?
Has this come out yet, or is
no?
This okay?
Coming out A24. Scheduled for December 22nd, 2023. The Von Erichs.
Zac Efron looks like a motherfucker in that movie, bro.
Zac Efron's in it. Maxwell Jacob Friedman
is
starring as one of the brothers.
Really?
He's playing Lance Von Erich.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
What do we got? Chavo Guerrero is playing the Sheik. Ryan Nemeth is playing Gino Hernandez.
Interesting.
Who else? We got someone playing Ric Flair, someone playing Michael Hayes. Jeremy Allen White from The Bear and Shameless.
Anderson. I was like, why?
Pamela Anderson's in it.
Pamela Anderson. That's I'm definitely gonna check that movie out.
So stoked for this movie
because I've seen like pictures on the internet over the last like few months or even a year of Zac Efron like training for it and just like how he looked and stuff, bro. That
and also Jeremy Allen White is fucking sick.
Yeah, that's another good actor. Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I didn't know MJF was in. That's crazy.
I didn't know he had such a prominent role.
One of the brothers
kind of
for
like
sure. Huh?
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Good for him.
Gonna see that on Christmas.
That's when it's coming out. Christmas.
Just December 22nd.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say I know what I'm doing on Christmas. Fuck my family. I'm gonna see this. I'm gonna see the Iron Claw.
All right. What do we got left? Was that is there something else? Oh yeah. And there's this. The JD defeats Sami Zayn. Dom helps. Everyone comes out, roll up.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom. But I like, they're keeping Sami and KO in the feud and title picture, and it all makes sense. Sami's all tied in, blah, blah, blah. There was also, this is like a very minute note, but there was, it's more Jey backstage stuff, and like Dom was like, hey man, you want to join the Judgment Day?
From broken families and stuff. Hilarious, dude. Absolutely gold. I like how Jey is going to kind of be in the mix of, past feuds. It's nice, refreshing seeing him on a new roster. He's going to be able to interact with new people, go, revisit old things. And, I'm excited for it.
Where do you want to go from here? We got some AEW stuff. I know
we can briefly talk about All Out, I guess.
I know most notably, we got Jon Moxley defeats Orange Cassidy. I do not have a catchphrase. If this reign, one of the greatest championship reigns, unbelievable. Yep. Orange Cassidy is amazing.
30-something title defenses,
unreal,
unbelievable. I saw that number and I was like, holy shit.
If he was gonna lose it, I don't think that was a bad one to lose. No. I also just fucking love Jon Moxley.
I think Jon Moxley is going to do the belt justice. He already defended it on Dynamite and stuff like that.
Yeah, he beat AR Fox.
He'll be a great champion. He'll put on great matches. I also love kind of going back to Dynamite. Orange Cassidy came out and goes, they told me to take the night off. And I was like, no. I
didn't want to
do that. I thought that was very cool.
No, he's one of the best. I mean, AEW, it feels like, again, we're ignoring all the CM Punk drama and all that stuff. But like AEW, I feel like they were in a little bit of a lull for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Maybe like when like the Bloodline stuff was like super hot.
Right. All eyes were on
that. But they feel, and I don't know, maybe it's because the Bloodline story is taking a cool down. But like even so, the Bloodline story is still going on better than Bebe was going on. Yeah. But they feel hot.
Especially after All In, they're cruising right now. Yeah, definitely.
We'll jump around with AEW because that's, there's a lot of different stuff to talk about. But MJF and Samoa Joe feud.
Very excited.
And they're
for that.
doing, which this is
bringing it back,
bro,
from NXT.
So, or even before that,
because
they did a callback at All Out when Samoa Joe passed MJF, and I didn't pick up on this. I saw this on Twitter, and he shoved him out of the way, a la back when that famous clip when MJF is 19 and he's playing a security guard for Samoa Joe and he shoves him to a brick wall. Like, just that alone is crazy. Like,
I love that.
Would you have thought, I mean, how many years ago was that? Well, so he's 19, 20, so
probably
I don't know, 7 years
ago,
ago, right?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that 5 seconds of just, and there was other guys that got hired.
Could have been anyone else.
Could have been anyone.
Could have been anyone else.
It's
full circle. It's crazy.
I'm not a super religious person, but when stuff like that happens, when it's just like
everything collides,
it's like, there's something. You can't write. There's something in the universe.
Dude, I know. I'm with you, dude. It's like you can't write that, bro. Like that's just crazy how that shit just happens.
MJF 7 years ago, which security guard gets shoved, and they reference it on All Out, and they bring it, which I love that they brought it up. And MJF was like, "I was just a 19-year-old kid, and I got the opportunity to be, I got this spot and I got this opportunity in WWE, and you shoved me into a brick wall, and
That's
I was
I love it.
Holy
dude. It's
shit.
So good.
And even just to like craft a world around that, because in reality, that was just like
just a small thing at the time.
And they're also like, they created a story with it, because obviously there wasn't could have been anyone. He just shoved him, whatever. But the fact they took that clip and they created a world around it of like, no, this actually did mean something to me, because like it didn't really mean anything. It was just MJF had a job and he was, whatever.
Right.
But the fact they're creating this world around it, and I saw someone of like MJF is like fucking Batman, where he has all of these like arch villains and arch nemesis coming up and just being like,
talk about William Regal during his promo.
He mentioned Regal
stuff,
and like
that's another one too, where it's like all that stuff in the past, and all of a sudden they're working with each other a year ago, whatever.
And even when you talk about the Punk feud, he took a picture with Punk at a show. Like, it's crazy.
Writing down Adam Cole's name when he was at the school. Now he made him the biggest wrestling show. MJF,
crazy.
What did he do? Did he sell his soul to did he do something?
It's nuts.
Because
no one's talking about how crazy all this is. It's
like nuts. Something's got to be going on.
It's
here.
crazy.
We're genuinely getting to a point where like I might be in the MJF might be the best thing in wrestling right now. Roman Reigns, I get it. I'm not trying to compare apples and oranges right here, but I'm saying
MJF's better in the ring than Roman Reigns.
His fucking character work combined with his mic skills, and he's a face now. But he's a but he's a dick.
Yeah,
but it's like the way he makes everything, the way he ties everything, the way he's on TV every week, and he's the double, like everything that he does.
Yeah,
is gold. Everything that he does is gold, and that's how hard it is to like one up something or be able to like keep a streak. Characters hit lows. Sometimes things get boring, a little drawn out. No, everything he does is perfect for his character and just for the company, the story. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
At 26 years old or whatever he is, he's very quickly in some conversations. He's gonna have,
and that's a crazy.
He's gonna have an amazing career.
Mid-20s, dude. He's only 26, 25, 26 years old. Are you fucking nuts? The dude could go for another 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in the wrestling world, you can go for that long. Obviously, like, I bet he's someone that might venture off and like he obviously is in movies and stuff. He's a guy that can do that stuff.
Yeah.
But dude, he is, for his age, for what he's accomplished and what he's doing at this age, is unheard of. I'm so happy. I love it. I'm so happy for him. Bring
it back to the feud they're kind of building. Also, like, props. I mean, Samoa fucking Joe is also just one of the greatest.
The ultimate. Yeah.
This feud, I'm so excited for this feud. I see that they're gonna have a lot to build on. They already started.
Yeah, and they have the qualifying tournament.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Samoa Joe has to
he's facing Jeff Hardy first.
Tough.
Why is Jeff even in there? Come on, don't do that. Come on, we all know he's not going to win it anyways. Don't throw him in there.
On the other side, they got
Roderick Strong. What's the other match? Because he won.
Well, they had Nick Wayne and Darby.
Yeah, so I bet it's gonna be.
That was crazy. Darby Allin fucking shot out like a fucking rocket through the ropes, and Darby on purpose. Nick Wayne like ducked out of the way, and he just went into the fucking barricade.
I wish I had balls as big as Darby Allin.
Also, I found out Nick Wayne. His theme song is by JPEG Mafia.
Oh wow!
And it's like I listened to it the other night, and it's like JPEG Mafia made it like so it would be like a theme. So it's not like a crazy like song or whatever, but it goes, "Call me Nick Wayne. I'm Nick Wayne." And he goes, one of the lines goes, "Best Wayne since the Carter."
That's pretty funny. That's pretty good.
I fuck with Nick Wayne.
Pretty good. Yeah, no, he's solid.
But also on the other side, it's Penta versus someone.
There'll definitely be Samoa Joe versus Roderick Strong.
Well, it'll be Joe versus Penta, and then the finals.
Well, in the finals, Roderick and Samoa Joe, and then at that point you can.
Or no, give me Joe and Darby.
I think Roderick just because of the whole thing with Adam Cole, but I can see like something happening where Adam Cole gets involved, and then they kind of do their thing, and then Samoa Joe. Adam Cole deals with Roderick, and MJF deals with Samoa Joe. Sure. So they're still a team, but they're kind of. See, that's what I like too. They're a tag team. They're defending their belts, but they each have their own thing going on. You know, so
I'm hoping, and they didn't really. There's a lot of time to build the story. I'm hoping that I think there's a lot to build with because Adam Cole he still wants the title, and there's still whatever. I mean, there's a lot of NXT Black and Gold, Samoa Joe and Adam Cole stuff here that like I can see like MJF is in the ring and maybe Adam Cole's with them, and all of a sudden. Adam Cole maybe takes the mic, and Adam Cole is going at Joe and is almost overshadowing MJF because of Samoa Joe and Adam Cole's history. And then there's so many different intertwined things.
I could also see like a triple threat match, like Roderick and Samoa. Maybe it's like DQ, count out, whatever, and it's like a triple threat to keep Roderick. I don't know. No matter what happens,
I don't give a shit about the Roderick Strong
I don't
stuff.
either. I prefer Samoa Joe versus MJF straight up because there's just so much there, and I think that would be a fucking hell of a match. But yeah, I'm excited for the feud. Very excited for it.
Was there anything else specifically? Admittedly, I did not watch.
I didn't watch All Out either. Miro had a match. That was cool.
Miro had a match. I heard it was good. I heard this show was great. I wish I have
a shirt now where it just says meat.
Oh, really?
Meat. Also, his wife, CJ Perry, debuted. And he left her and stuff. So I don't know if that
fucking Danielson and Ricky Starks were beating the shit out of each other in a strap match.
Yeah. Also, the post they had a press conference at the end, and Bryan Danielson said some cool stuff.
Is that the press conference after All In or the
All Out? I mean, All Out. Did I say All In? I meant All Out.
No, I'm asking you. Because he did talk about All In.
Yeah, because he was talking about being on Collision. Tony Khan, because he was like, my 7-year-old daughter's like, Daddy, like, when you're gonna like, when I'm 7 years old, like, you're gonna be home for me every night and stuff like that. So he's just kind of talking about how he needs to balance his life. And I guess.
Oh, you're right. So sorry. The reason I got confused because I didn't watch All Out, but I got home and I watched the Scrum.
Gotcha.
So
yeah. Yes, so then he was just like, Tony Khan's like, Danielson's probably going to be more exclusively on Collision because Saturday nights work for him and his family and stuff, which is
huge.
If you're going to replace CM Punk, Danielson's huge. The perfect guy for
1,000%.
it. But yeah, I heard that match was unbelievable. And shout out shout out Ricky Starks.
There was one more AEW thing. What was it? Oh, Swerve last. Bro. Yeah. Swerve and Hangman.
Dope. Great feud.
It's
great
so
feud.
fresh.
Great for Swerve. Great for Hangman.
Bro, Swerve was spitting. He was like,
if I was in your position, I would have been the first black AEW champion.
You've taken a back seat to the elite to let them steer. You haven't been in title matches. He's like basically saying like, what the fuck are you doing?
There's probably some people are like, oh no, this guy might be ahead of him. But Swerve Strickland, in my opinion, is probably the biggest missed opportunity on WWE's end. Like one guy that went to AEW, they could have done so. And he was great at NXT. They could have done so much from obviously the Danielsons, the Mox. I get that. Those guys were proven in WWE already, but like a guy that they could have built up to be a star. Man, they let him slip through their fingers. That's what I'm saying.
He's like building up more and more and more in AEW. I would still say he's still underrated.
I think he'll be a world champion maybe by next year or something like that. They're keeping him prominent. Like they're keeping him in those, like even with Darby and Sting. Like
I was gonna say, you don't just get a Darby and Sting match.
Jump into Hangman too, and Hangman's like so after Punk's gone now, Hangman's the #1 merchandise seller and all.
That's true.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he is.
Sells the most merch. Yeah.
Why? I mean, I love Hangman.
I was surprised too, but he is. He's #1 now.
That's shocking to me. I would have thought it would have been MJF or fucking.
I'm with you, but yeah, no, it's Hangman.
That's crazy.
So obviously Hangman is a big prominent part of the show. Giving Swerve someone like him to work with, that's massive. So yeah, very exciting stuff. I'm looking forward to that feud as well.
Long one today. That's just about our show. I think we know the final phrase.
We do.
Something about Mac Miller. Give us your 2 cents, not 2 cents.
Give us your favorite songs,
moments, favorite song, your connection, your if you got to, or if you weren't really a Mac Miller fan, throw in Mac Miller, R.I.P. forever.
Long live Mac
whatever
Miller.
you want to do.
I know I'll be. I bumped Mac Miller all the way here. I'll be bumping him all the way back home.
There you go.
Be listening to Mac the rest of the day.
See ya next. Oh, merch.
Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier.
Holy shit, merch is coming out.
6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Sweep City resident shirt, the hats, the stickers. Check that stuff out. We'll be wearing it for the episodes throughout the week, but get your hands on it early just in case it does sell out.
Limited, definitely limited.
It's a limited drop too. It's not something that's going to stay on the shop, so that's why we're saying get your hands on it early so you don't miss out.
Thank you for watching. We will see you next time. Follow us on everything. You know what to do. Appreciate it. Closing out 100,000. We will see you all week. We will see you next episode. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. See you next time.